Finn Balor has given a message to any WWE superstar who does not want to be a part of the organization. Finn Balor is presently riding a wave of momentum as the head of WWE's Judgement Day group, which had a strong performance at SummerSlam despite Edge's comeback. SummerSlam has a lot to offer. As a result of this, several WWE members have departed other organizations. Stay tuned for additional information on this topic. Let's take a look at the backstory of this Irishman, Finn Balor. Since joining WWE in 2014, the current member of the Judgement Day has collected an incredible CV, including becoming a two-time NXT champion, United States and two-time Intercontinental champion, and the first ever WWE Universal champion. The Irishman, on the other hand, understands better than most that there is life beyond WWE. He rose through the UK Indies and created a name for himself in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the late 2000s, won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship 3 times, and the Best of the Super Juniors tournament twice. Balor was also a member of the infamous Bullet Club group, which include future WWE stars AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. It puts the 40-year-old in an ideal position to advise rising talents and anybody considering quitting WWE, something he said on the Cheap Heat podcast, where he had a straightforward message for anybody wishing to leave the firm. Balor is presently engaged in a feud with WWE Hall of Famer Edge. The R-rated superstar returned to WWE at SummerSlam after being placed on the shelf by the Prince and his Judgement Day buddies, who had thrown Edge out of the group as leader. With Clash at the Castle approaching, it seems Balor will be engaged with Edge in some fashion, but he did express a wish to meet Rey Mysterio at the Cardiff event on September 3rd. Up next, WWE Raw returns to Cleveland. Johnny Gargano trends. Johnny Gargano was once again trending on Sunday as WWE fans speculated over his possible return on this week's Monday Night Raw. The episode takes place in Cleveland, Gargano's hometown, and the NXT Triple Crown champion has repeatedly left the door open for a return to the promotion after leaving in December in order to be home for the birth of his first child, Quill. Fans have also speculated that a return to WWE is much more appealing for Johnny Wrestling now that Paul Levesque is running WWE Creative, given how closely they worked for years in NXT and how that leadership change has already benefited one of Gargano's closest friends in Tommaso Ciampa. Do you think Gargano will return on Raw tomorrow night? If so, what will he do? Moving on, WWE is reportedly thinking about bringing back another former NXT superstar. After taking over as head of creative for WWE, Paul Triple H Levesque is fast overhauling a huge section of the current roster. He is placing a significant emphasis on performers that flourished under his guidance during the much-beloved black and gold period of NXT. SummerSlam saw the return of Dakota Kai and Io Sky, which was then followed by a drive from Ciampa to win the US title, as well as the return of both Karrion Kross and Scarlett. WWE is continuing to look into bringing back talent that was released under the previous administration, like Dexter Lumis, and Triple H is nowhere from through with his aggressive roster maneuvers at this point. One of the names that has been suggested to be brought back to WWE is reportedly Dexter Lumis, Samuel Robert Shaw. This information comes from a recent article that was written by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. In addition to this, the report adds that higher-ups intended to contact Lumis the previous week. However, there is no indication as to whether or not this discussion has actually taken place. Between the years 2019 and 2022, Dexter Lumis participated in NXT, but he was finally let go this past April. Lumis competed against and with a number of talented individuals throughout his tenure in NXT, including Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Theory, Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, and Cameron Grimes. Lumis has been competing in NWA ever since he was granted his freedom. In June of this year, he participated in an event called Always Ready for the World Heavyweight title. Moving on, more details concerning Triple H. Triple H has been quite active in reintroducing former NXT talent, and it seems that this trend will continue in the near future. Many people believe that in addition to Lumis, Johnny Gargano and Lio Rush will make a reappearance in the not-so-distant future. However, a number of key NXT performers from the black and gold eras are now signed to multi-year contracts with AEW. This has been the situation since AEW was purchased by WWE. You shouldn't expect to see someone like Adam Cole return to WWE anytime soon. People seem to believe that recent industry events, such as Vince McMahon's decision to stand down as WWE chairman and Paul Levesque's hiring as the company's new booker would change the playing field. This cognitive process makes me laugh somewhat. Some of the tales I've read on Twitter in the previous week have filled me with a lot of laughter. Employees think that just when the CEO, chairman, or head of creative job changes in the competition, that the people under contract with me for the next 5 years would suddenly transfer teams. Best wishes on your endeavor. Adam Cole is now under contract till about 2027. I wouldn't rule out his disappearing without a trace anytime soon. Tony Khan, CEO of AEW, said this on Busted Open Radio around a month ago. What about Dexter Lumis or any of the other former NXT stars? Would you be interested in seeing them compete in WWE? Tell us how it went in the comments. Up next, backstage information on Kevin Owens and other WWE stars missing from TV. According to Fightful Select, creative is being cooked up for Kevin Owens' future ambitions. Owens has been missing from television, most notably on last week's broadcast of Raw. According to the allegation, Triple H was linked to Owens on screen during his WWE Universal title victory. Owens won the championship on Raw on August 29, 2016. In March 2017, he was defeated by Goldberg in Fastlane. Lacey Evans has been removed from the July 29 edition of SmackDown. Evans was not cleared to fight during the program, but Fightful was assured that there were no imminent creative plans for her. This year's comeback of Evans was chaotic and directionless. Evans was known to be Vince McMahon's particular favorite, and he was extremely hands-on and worked directly with Evans when she arrived at Raw. Osmos has been updated. Osmos hasn't been seen on WWE Raw in a few weeks, but he's still on the road with WWE and is managed by MVP. On Monday's WWE main event tapings, he faced Ezekiel. Fightful was also informed that numerous talents are in the same position, waiting to find out what their roles would be under the new government. Several have met with Triple H personally to discuss their future. As previously said, Triple H is not anticipated to cease altering the squad to add depth anytime soon. Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Dakota Kai have all returned to WWE as a result of their new jobs. Io Sky re-signed with the firm as well. Finally, Brock Lesnar refuses to work with Jinder Mahal and other WWE superstars. According to Road Dogg, Brock Lesnar isn't the kind of person to be bashful when it comes to exercising his position of power inside WWE. And according to reports, that authority includes vetoing potential storylines. Recent revelations made by Road Dogg, who served in numerous positions behind the scenes prior to his dismissal earlier this year, indicate that Brock Lesnar has turned down opportunities to collaborate with a number of wrestlers in the past. So yes, Brock Lesnar said, "I'm not working with him." Jinder Mahal said, "So yeah," Brock Lesnar said. Road Dogg said this in an interview on the podcast The Wrestling Outlaws. Look, he said that about multiple individuals, by the way. WWE planned to book a champion versus champion battle between Lesnar and Mahal for the Survivor Series pay-per-view event that took place in 2017. Instead, at Lesnar's insistence, the narrative was altered to have AJ Styles win the WWE title by beating Mahal in a match that took place less than 2 weeks before the Survivor Series. In what was perhaps the Beast Incarnate's finest bout in recent memory, Lesnar emerged victorious against Styles. Given that Mahal isn't known for his exceptional work, one might make the argument that Lesnar came up with a more original concept than the WWE writers did. Furthermore, it's not as though Lesnar has never been on the receiving end of a booking request before. While Stone Cold Steve Austin was requested to put Brock Lesnar over in the King of the Ring tournament in 2002, he famously quit the promotion. This occurred when Lesnar was competing. Well, that marks the end of our video today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.